Washington was loud, and I wasn't used to it. Like, the music was loud. Like, I've never been in front of a crowd like that, so that really, like, took me back, and I was kind of distracted for a second. But I think since I had the Washington meet, I was able to know what I need to do now to somewhat stay in my bubble, in our Bruin bubble, I guess, and stay focused. But I'm really excited to see all of our fans for the first time because I've only been on the fan side. I haven't been on the gymnastics side yet, so this is exciting. I just love to compete. So really, when it's go time, I'm like, it's like my escape. It's like my relaxing type of place, I guess. So when I just compete, I just go out and have fun. So when it's like I'm doing well, I'm like, oh, cool. I'm also enjoying myself. So yeah.
You have to remind yourself that Selena Harris, multi-talented, just ridiculous how good she has been already, but she's still a teenager. And probably the biggest crowd she ever was in front of was at the U.S. Championships in 2018. She talked about the crowd in Washington last week. I did that meet. They had 5,000 people. We might double that inside here today.
Easily
so for her, there's still some distractions for her. I forget sometimes that they haven't all been on the big stage.
Right, but if anyone were to be able to handle that, it's Selena.
She's from Vegas, baby. She knows how to perform, right? She loves it, and the crowd loves her too. It's amazing how quickly she has found attention from this crowd. With all the Olympians in the room, the history of this sport at this school, people already know who Selena Harris is, and they're expecting greatness from her.
Making a huge statement.
So Oregon State's going to go to the vault, and you see the 3 10-0 start values with Gonzalez, Dagan, and Carey at the back end. Garcia, Young, and Lech to start things off. On the vault, they're third best in the conference, 13th best in the country. So as we go through the Olympic order today, and Oregon State is the visiting team, they're actually going to get better on every event. They go from ranked 36th on the bars to 13th on the vault to 9th on the floor to 5th on the beam. So Oregon State is going to be closing today. For UCLA, they go to the bars. UCLA is the best team in the conference on the bars, the second best team in the country. They've gone as high as 49.5, and they're averaging just under 49.5.
Good vault from Caitlin. She had a lot of power, good distance. She does need to open up her hips a little bit, and I think she had to have that slight hop forward, so the judges will be deducting from that, but great start.
I saw Caitlin Garcia just before she got the flag to go, just adjusting the board just a little bit.
Oh yeah, that was Maddie.
Oh, that was Maddie, sorry.
Yeah, but making sure Caitlin's all set and ready to go.
Shea Campbell. We saw Campbell go 9.925 on the vault in the first rotation. On bars, she has now gone 100 routines without a fall. We don't want to jinx her, but she's gone 100. This would be 101.
Started off with the Maloney, which is a toe on Shaposh. Difficult dismount, blind landing.
There's 100. All of her scores have been 9.8 or better, 9.825 at the Wasatch and the Super 16 in Vegas.
Here's her dismount. She's going to do a blind into a double front. Very difficult. You're landing forward, but it's a blind landing, but she knows exactly where she is in the air.
Just a 9.65 for Garcia. So they're going to want to drop that score. That puts pressure on the final 5 here. Ariana Young, the junior from San Mateo. All the meets, her scores have been climbing.
Huge Yurchenko full. Lots of amplitude, great distance, good form in the air as well.
Oregon State's looking for a big number here. They're averaging 49.1. They've gone 49.3. If they're going to stay in this meet, they got to come back here. All of a sudden, it's gotten critical early for the Beavs. Anapatarariu now in the 2 spot for UCLA on bars, so that's a change from their original lineup. And Mars is out there with some final words, and maybe just a joke to crack the ice a little bit. Crowd rises as one for Patarario.
That is a equipment malfunction. She should be able to have a fresh start. It's not going to count as a fall. One of the cables came loose.
How does it affect you as a gymnast? You get the do-over, but
it is pretty scary when equipment does fail you, but she's safe, she knows she's good. That was not a scary fall, so it's really just kind of resetting. The coaches are, making sure everything is good. They're shaking.
Emma Malabuyo right there, telling her just laugh and shake it off.
It's that cable on the,
Yeah, you saw it'll give away the whole apparatus. And you're right, it's fortunate it happened that early and at a low altitude for her.
Yes, in the very first skill, she wasn't doing a huge release or anything like that.
Anna's a sophomore from Ontario. Gone 985 twice on the bars this year. And remember, this is UCLA's first home meet, so the crowd going to try to pick her up. And Anna says, hey, we can just edit that out in post. We'll fix it.
She's all smiles.
Now you got to refocus. But is it one more thing to think about?
Beautiful handstand to start off. She's going to do a Maloney up to the high bar. Looks like she had to readjust her grip a little bit, so she keeps her composure. I absolutely love her form. Dismount full in. It's a hop forward, but that was a great way to come back.
There was some adversity right there at the beginning, and you can feel her kind of fighting her way through it, and a lot of relief being off the bars. Briones with a 9-8. So they needed 5 good ones in a row. They got one. Lauren Lech now. Lech on vault, her scores have been rising. Had a 9.85 in the Beaver Quad a couple of weeks ago. Excellent vault.
I think she liked that one.
What was your tip-off?
Great height. This is Yurchenko full, really good in the air. And you can see where she puts her arms out to really prepare for that landing, and she didn't have to adjust her feet, not one bit.
I've been around the sport long enough to know that you guys always react well after you finish your performance.
Yes.
But to me, now I can see the genuine reaction. Kalani Steele is scheduled to go third, but we're still waiting for Padererio's score on the bars. Excuse me, Emily Lee now scheduled a second, then Steele would be third. I have so many arrows on my lineup, I'm confused. McDonald doing a nice job here. When you're out there all by yourself, I don't know, it's kind of like having your picture taken. You don't know where to put your hands, right? So you want a teammate to come out, you want a coach to come out, so you don't feel so self-conscious. The judge is still doing the math.
And it's perfect when, the coaches or the teammates know what each athlete needs, and Kalyani is one of those athletes that really needs to, stay out of her head and keep the mood light.
So we still don't have an official scoring yet. Padererio got just a 9.325, so UCLA finds itself in a similar position as Oregon State. So Campbell had the 9.825. Steele, Harris, Childs, and Frazier must score for UCLA. This is one of their best events, number 2 in the country.
Beautiful handstand to start off, Maloney. Great transition down to the low bar.
She had surgery in the springtime and returned to action on this event at Washington a week ago. Now back at home in front of the classmates and trying to hang on to that landing.
She's happy with that.
For Lech, we're told, 9.85. Here comes Sydney Gonzalez, a local product from down in Orange County.
Very unique vault. She does a Yurchenko entry, does a full twist onto the vault with a pike out. It's very intricate, very difficult, and a great landing. I love seeing vaults that are, that can really broaden people's eyes when you're watching this sport.
Gonzalez has always been reliable on this event, coming off a 9.85 season high against Rutgers Friday night. There's that genuine reaction that I look for. Catching up on the UCLA scores, their steals 9-8-5. So with the changes in the lineup, it makes things a little confused. Even the gymnast not quite sure what's going on. Judges have to readjust their cards. Steal goes 9-8-5, so you want to drop Padererio. Keep all the rest. Selena Harris. Still waiting on scores. Steele is ranked number 6th in the country. All 3 scores on bars this year, 9-9 or better. Had a 9.975 on bars at Salt Lake City. Steele got a 9.85. Look at that, hold it vertically. Complete control. Show the core strength.
She was prepping for this dismount. Like I said, she is a ball of talent. Full pirouette. Straight through to a double layout.
She's remarkable.
Changed that, actually.
She's
she used to do giants before. She is so good.
I mean, it's fun for us to watch. You know, we get to see Olympians, national champions, conference titleists. Remember, she is in an all-around competition that's kind of in the background today against Jane Carey, not to mention her own teammates. So personally, it's got to be an important moment for her. 9.925 for Gonzalez. Maddie Dagan left it a little short, landed on the heels.
She had to take a couple steps back, so that will be a couple tenths of deduction.
And that hurts Oregon State because they're going to have to kind of lower score down. Dagan knows it. Kind of missed an opportunity right there. Should see Dagan again on floor and beam. Jordan Childs. Harris, 9.925. 9.925 for her. So if you can, if you're at home and you're doing some scoring, keep an eye on what Harris and Carey are doing. Or heck, for that matter, keep an eye on what Childs is doing. She's in the all-around as well. All of her scores on this event, 9.925 plus.
She's an aggressive swinger. This routine is jam-packed with difficulty.
She's number 1 in the country on bars. This crowd wants to jump out of their seats like a jack in the box.
That routine was stunning. I'm trying to figure out where
the deduction would be.
Yeah.
She's had a 10 before. She had a 10 against Stanford last year. That was on the road. Look at the height, not a movement. Maybe the 1 foot in front of the other, maybe. I don't know. I mean, I'm searching to give the judges an out. 9.975.
Almost there.
I think it's fair.
Yeah.
I think it's fair. And Jane Carey says, no, I'm an Olympian.
Problem.
I got 2 Olympic medals. She was my teammate. I know what I expected. It can't get in my head.
We're going to see the same vault we saw from Jordan.
And she's
Jade.
number 1 in the country on this event. So we go back-to-back number 1. So there's only 5 events, even if you count the all-around. And we got 2 of them back-to-back in the same meet. She had a 10 at Salt Lake City. She had a 9.975 in the quad, had a 9.9 against Rutgers on Friday night. So if you're Marcetta Fraser, how do you follow that? Well, you just put up something better, don't you? The 21 Pac-12 co-champion on this event had a 9.95 in Vegas. Whoa!
Great save.
Pulled it back.
A lot of shoulder strength needed for that. Another there's a gymnast that can finish a routine with an exclamation point, it is Mars.
There you go. Grace and power blended together on that dismount. How did she save it?
It really comes down to core strength, but also your shoulders and your shoulder mobility as well.
Jade Carey just got a 9.95 on vault for Oregon State. They go 49.2 on the rotation. It's higher than their average, below their best. And UCLA, still waiting for that final score to come in.